Hey YouTube, JW. Got a new edition of New Arrival Retro Knives for you guys. I got a pretty good assortment here today. Let's just get into it. Start with a couple old school Balisongs. Butterfly knife. These are in no particular order. This is a nice old Parker IMI Japan brass model. Classic design. Got the flutes in the handles there. Nice heavy old Bali. Another brass. I just love these old brass models. Valor. This knife was purchased. This knife kind of has an interesting story. It was lost in the mail for about a month, and I ended up getting it. It was at the post office, and it needed postage to be paid, and I had never got the slip in the mail, so it had been sitting there for about a month. And finally, the girl that works there that I went to high school with mentioned it to me, that she had seen it. I think it was $1.08. I paid that and got it. And it was bought from the original seller. It says Singapore there on the blade. And this was purchased from the original seller that bought it. Got it in Singapore in 1984. We'll just stick with Balisongs here. People only watch about 2 minutes of my videos on average anyway, so two new old stock Balisongs that I've been after for a while. First one I got in, which may honestly be my favorite one to date. Samurai Warrior. Kind of looks like an old Benchmade Balisong brand. Very nice. I had to get a drink there. You know, these are all Japan. This one's just super high quality. Really nice. Really like this one a lot. So clean. It doesn't get much cleaner than that. And then this is kind of like the compass version of the Rising Sun Valor knife. It's got the brown micarta, or I guess black micarta. You can see here on the box too, or it must have said brown, like on, and then they, you know, these are both from probably the mid 80s. Big, thick Balisong as well. Sterile blade, which is unusual for that time period. But it's just like the Rising Sun. Real nice quality. I just love getting these old ones in the box. This one actually came from somebody that was pretty local to me. I really like this one though. But I just say that again. We got another one here in a box. People seem to like this one. Big, huge folder. It says police folding pocket knife. Looks like an Almar. We don't think Almar ever made one this big. It's huge. Giant folder, made in Taiwan, new old stock, probably mid-90s, maybe. Got it cheap. Another Rizzy. Got this one from a good friend. Condition is alright. It's missing the bail. It's got a few hairline cracks. But it's the large model and it's a batwing. Still works good though. Blade is in pretty good shape. Cream colored. It's, you know, it's the large model. Button open, button close. No peak, which kind of makes up for a lot because such a common problem on Rizzies, especially the big boys like this 11-inch model. That was cool. And then another one that I collect a lot of, super automatic. This was given to me by a great guy on Instagram who knows I have a big collection of these, and he was kind enough to send it to me. A lot of generous folks out there in the knife community. He's from California and he's a collector as well. Said it wasn't working properly. Oiled it up with some Balisongs and worked a little magic on it, and works just fine. Old Springer. Not really how sure. Maybe 60s or 70s. Doesn't have a spring in it, but it's not in bad shape. Got a pretty good deal on it. It's just got a Ross Fray stamped cursive, bone handles, stag. I like this side better actually. Kind of a newer, odd automatic. Got this in a trade with a friend, maybe 10 years old. Wild looking. Actually not bad to for an everyday carry, a little beater auto if you wanted to carry it. It's like unusual stuff like that. Speaking of unusual, here's something unusual which a lot of you may be familiar with as Techna Micro. Techna brand was made in Japan in the 1980s. They served a lot of underwater divers and stuff, made a lot of dive knives. This is a copy of that. Ninja Cobra. Anytime you have a knife that's a ninja and a cobra, it's pretty tough. Usual, this red button here on the bottom. Push that and the guard retracts. And to get it back, you pull it up and kind of move it, and then that holds it. So it's actually a fixed blade. But then the guard retracts down. Really unusual. Kind of like the Black Eagles and Black Stiletto knives. Little throat stabber there. That's definitely an unusual one. And then we'll end it on a couple French. Got a cool out the front single action auto. Just love the design on this. And you push the button, push the blade in, and then you pull this handle out, pull the blade back in, and then you can go again. Interestingly enough, this knife was originally designed as a ballistic knife where you fire it. This was built out of some old kits that a buddy of mine, collector, and there's a little tab in there that in the knives holds the blade in, but the ballistic knife, you would push that button and the blade would shoot out, you know, like a gun. And that's what these knives were originally designed to be, which is kind of interesting. And then finally, got a Bargeon, France, classic stiletto, large model, inox, new old stock, very nice. This was a Christmas gift from a good friend. Interestingly enough, the way this is put together, it's like a button open, button close, but it's a lock back too. So you got to push the lock back down to release the blade. But the button will catch before the blade all the way closes. So to do it correctly, you have to press the button, then close it. Otherwise it screws it up. And the spring will catch on a little latch in here on this button inside the liner. So it's a double closer. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this collection of new arrivals. I'll try to get back with you guys as soon as I can for another retro vid, or actually I got a couple new knives in that are new too that I wanted to do videos on. So I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll get back with you as soon as I can. Thanks guys.